Susie Sausage Head.
So, let me tell y'all about the time Susie Sausagehead was heading out to a restaurant to meet up with her friends and chill. She was going to a popular eatery in a busy part of town and was looking forward to the night ahead because she'd been in the house for so long. When she arrived, there weren't any parking spots available, and as a consequence, Susie had to pay for valet parking. It was the weekend, and there were several people standing in line to enter the restaurant, but Susie's party had reservations, so she was guided right in. As she walked past the hostess stand, she entered a dimly lit dining area, complete with booths, high tables, a bar with seating, and a performance stage. Susie could appreciate the line outside the door and why so many people would want to be inside because the venue was nice, providing great music, a chill crowd, spacious seating, as well as well-dressed waiters. Susie Sausagehead was guided to her party's seating area, a booth that seated about 8 people in the shape of a half moon. There was a rectangular drink table seated in front of the booth that was being used for drinks, ice, bottles, and hookah. There was no special occasion for the friends gathering this evening. It was just an agreed upon opportunity to reconnect and be social. Susie, for her part, was eager to try some of the libations and appetizers the restaurant had to offer. After looking over the menu, Susie looked up, expecting to wait for a waiter to make eye contact with her so she could summon one over to take her order. But before she could fully scan the room for waiter availability, one well-dressed gentleman materialized by her right shoulder, asking if she was ready to order. An impressed Susie requested her drink and food, then put the menu down. She, however, could not hide her amazement at how quickly her order was taken on such a busy night. Susie's friends commented on how the section they were seated in came with a dedicated waiter, and that waiter was going to be attending to them exclusively while they were in the restaurant. Susie Sausagehead suddenly felt very fancy and spoiled, and before they all concluded their conversation regarding a dedicated staff member they had on loan for the evening, her libations had arrived. Susie couldn't help herself and made a show of drinking the libations with her pinky finger in the air. Her friends laughed and copied her move after they made a toast to their friendship. Shortly thereafter, Susie's food arrived, and it proved to be as delicious as her libations. Susie made a mental note to take something home with her for carryout. She'd gotten a humble appetizer, and if it was this good, the main courses had to be next level cuisine. Susie Sausagehead and her friends sat for a while, eating, drinking, and talking amongst each other when the lighting and music changed. Susie was delighted to find that after a certain hour at night, the restaurant became a night spot. Additionally, a karaoke machine was wheeled out onto the stage along with teleprompter monitors and microphones. The friends all became excited and began talking about who would be the first between them to go on stage and sing something. Susie knew that for her part, personally, it would take a few more rounds of libations before she would be courageous enough to saunter up to the microphone. She looked around for her waiter instead because she wanted to make a different request. She'd seen several parties sharing hookahs and thought that getting one for her and her friends would be the perfect addition to their perfect evening. After she had finished ordering the hookah, Susie walked up to the DJ booth and signed up to sing a karaoke song. She felt that she would have enough time to enjoy several more libations and the hookah before it was her turn on stage. Turns out, Susie Sausagehead was mistaken for thinking she had time before it was her turn for karaoke. She only had time enough for one more glass of libations and 0 hookah before the DJ was calling her name to come on stage and sing her song. One of Susie's friends joined her as a backup singer on stage to make the experience that much more memorable. From Susie's vantage point on the raised stage, she could see the entirety of the restaurant, including her friends. She could also see the waiter behind them preparing a hookah for their party's enjoyment. Susie and her friend were on stage singing an R&B song while Susie was absent-mindedly watching the waiter prepare a small, circular charcoal for use with the hookah. The waiter was handling the coal with a pair of aluminum tongs while holding it over a butane flame. All of this was being done at a serving and preparation station positioned behind the seating booth Susie and her friends were occupying. Satisfied that the coal had reached the most favorable temperature, the waiter motioned to place it in the hookah tray. Susie could see from her place on the stage that the coal was red hot and clearly had to be handled with care. But before Susie could complete her thought, disaster struck. Because before the waiter could complete the transfer of hot coal from flame to hookah, another waiter bumped into him as he was walking by with a tray of food. The waiter holding the hot coal fumbled the tongs and dropped the coal into Susie's open handbag. Susie stopped mid-harmony on stage, dropped the microphone, and ran back to her seating section. As she arrived, she saw a small flame start to shoot out of her handbag, where the coals must have made contact with her napkins, receipts, and money. Susie reached the booth in time to see one of her friends throwing a drink into her bag onto the flames. Susie screamed. The